I thought people who got catfished were stupid, and then I became one. Basically, I've been an actress for 5 years. I often use a website called Casting Call Pro, which is an industry standard website. And what happens is that you get an employer, they go on the site, they put out a job brief, you apply for it, and then they get back in touch with you. So this happened fairly recently. I applied for a job for a feature film that was quite well paid. Not extortionately well paid, just standard industry rates. Then they got back in touch with me and asked me to audition. So I auditioned for this film, and then they asked me to change it a bit. So I did, carried on, blah blah blah, thought nothing of it. This is a very standard thing to happen in the acting industry. You email people and then they ask you to audition, they might ask you to tweak it, it's all stuff you film yourself. Usually then you go on to an in-person audition. In this case it was all done over video camera. Over this time I was talking to someone called Jennifer about this project, who was allegedly the casting person. About a week after I first heard from the people at this feature film, I got another email from someone called Jane saying that they'd decided they wanted me for a historical film about this racist character from the 17th to 18th century who, or was it 18th to 19th? It was around the 18th century, turn of the 19th, I think. I'm terrible with history. But she was really not a very nice character who was a racist. It was all because she was a woman who was also the leader of a mine in a railway, but she'd had a horrible childhood. But she was a bit of a villain of a character, really. And they asked me to film an audition just to be sure, but they were pretty sure they wanted me to have the part. Then the first casting person, Jennifer, gets in touch and says, you know, we've got some questions for you. And she asks me really quite strange things like, who's your biggest inspiration in the acting world? Which actress would you like to be like? What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you as an actor? Now, these aren't really things you get asked in an audition, and they are nothing to do with the film that I've applied for. But, you know, I think nothing of it. Sometimes people in the film industry are weird. I write the responses, I send them back to her, it's fine. Eventually I hear back from Jane from the historical film, who says that unfortunately they're not going ahead with the project because of a dispute with the producer, which is absolutely fine. I get back in touch with them and say, sorry to hear that, hope you can do it again at some point. Then I hear from Jennifer of the first film, the post-apocalyptic one, who says that they can't offer me that role, but they can offer me 2 roles in bigger, better paid films with bigger, more interesting parts. So obviously I say yes, and that I'm very interested in seeing the film and the script and hearing more. And we arranged to meet. Now, when I arrange to meet with someone, I'm very safety conscious, so I start doing a bit of research. So we've arranged to meet what would have been this Friday coming. And I look into this person, Jennifer, and I can't find any reference of her in any of the professional means. I go onto the website of the production company and they have no previous work up there or no links to trailers or anything. However, they also have some concept art up, which is all very beautiful, and I think, well, at least they've spent money, and that also suggests that their team is bigger than just one person, which is a good thing. But in general, this website isn't particularly professional. However, on the same day I see a Facebook post from one of my dear friends, Helen, who is also an actress, who says, female actor friends, please beware of this Jennifer person. Although she doesn't mention Jennifer, she mentions another name but linked to the same film. She says this person is actually a man. They've been lying about who they are. They've been banned from Casting Call Pro twice for undisclosed reasons. And essentially we think they're doing something quite unscrupulous here, but we don't know what. But something is not right. At this point, I decide to do a bit more detective work, so I go onto their Google Plus pages on their Gmail accounts. Hello, cat. You are very distracting, but very cute. Hi. So first, I reverse searched on Google the images they had up as their Google Plus profiles. Now, this Jennifer person I couldn't find the picture of, nor could I find the Jane person's picture. Normally it will come up as a Facebook picture or a Twitter picture somewhere on the internet, so that's quite unusual. Jennifer had nothing associated with her Google Plus, no followers, no one she was following, no links to YouTube or Twitter, and that in itself, in such a media-savvy world, is quite odd. However, Jane had a link to a YouTube channel. Now on Jane's page she had reviews of places like the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Natural History Museum, National Portrait Gallery, which suggested she'd been in London for about 9 months. When I went onto the YouTube channel, it was an American girl speaking, and I thought, you know, it's always possible that Jane is American and just living in England. However, I started watching these videos. Now first and foremost, as a vlogger, as you can see on my page, we normally have channel art, we have a link to Twitter, we have a link to Facebook, because we like to promote ourselves and our work. This person had none of these things, just a profile picture. The person in the profile picture was the same person in the vlogs, but I went to the first vlog, which was called Worry, and this person is talking about how she's worried that she's not making as good YouTube videos anymore, she's worried she's not a great vlogger anymore. And this is her first video, so I'm thinking that's a bit odd. Then I looked through some more of her videos and discovered that this person in the vlogs is actually called Alex, not Jane. Now that's weird. So I'm pretty much 99% sure that they're not the same person at this stage. In one of the vlogs, this Alex person is singing a song, so I type the lyrics into Google and eventually find that she's a vlogger from Massachusetts who's 21 called Alex. So this person is definitely not the person I've been talking to. At closer inspection, I also see that the same person is in this Jennifer's profile picture. So she's using the same person, just different pictures. Since I've had success in finding this other vlogger, I decide that I am going to look on the website. So I reverse search the images on their website, and I discover that they were not made by a concept artist. All of the pictures on the website were made by people on a site called DeviantArt. So yes, she's got asked this person's permission to use their picture, but for films, particularly films that are paying this much, you don't just take someone else's art and use it on your website. You hire someone to make stuff that is specifically for the thing. So there is nothing telling me that this is a real production company at this stage. Eventually I decide to confront this person, so I emailed this Jane character and confront them, saying that I have got proof that they're not the person in their videos, that if they try and use my audition footage I will start something legal against them. Essentially just warning them off, saying that I want no part in whatever's going on. I also get in touch with Alex, the real vlogger, and let her know what's been happening, because I'd want someone to do the same for me. Then I get back in touch with this Jennifer character. Now, in the acting industry, most people would come back to that and say, gosh, this is so weird, yes, this is the explanation, sorry to have freaked you out, but this is what's going on. This person instead accused me of being racist. They said that I was harassing them, and they didn't answer any of my questions, so there's something very odd. Finally, I hear back from Cast & Call Pro, and they tell me that this person would arrange meetings with people, with actors, and then just not turn up. They've banned them twice before for using inappropriate questions, for inappropriate behaviour, so something is really, really weird here. Anyway, I'm no longer meeting this person. There is something very dodgy going on with all this. Now, I still don't know who this person is. To my knowledge, it's a man called James. This video is essentially a warning because I am a fairly established actress. I've been acting for 5 years. I would always consider myself fairly streetwise. I would never go and meet someone without having researched them first. I am very cautious and wary about who I talk to. And I always take things with a pinch of salt. I try not to get too excited about projects before I know that they're definitely happening for certain. But even I was taken in by this. So just as a word of caution, please always research the company that you're auditioning for. Never go to an audition unless it's in a place that you trust, with people you trust, that you have researched, and letting people know that you're going. Although we'd like to think that this is quite a safe world, unfortunately it isn't always the case. Anyway, act safe, and from Ash Acting Up, have a lovely day. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and over and out.